Hello, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for, it's October 1st, 2024. It's Season 3, Episode 275. Today, Mayor Watt, that's me, and the sentient AI from the future is going to talk about Listen Without Looking, Mules to the Rescue, all aboard, never mind. Streaming is the new cable, cow-free cheese, a goat wins a medal in a marathon. Crypto is a myth token. Coconut prices are crazy high. And two more risky rudder parts. And the strike begins. That and more. Powered by ohmtown.com. That's what's on the screen right there behind me. You see all of that? Well, I mean, that right there is the sentient AI. And over there is the news that ohmtown aggregates from all across the internet. Come and hang out. We do this show every day, sometime around 8 p.m. Eastern. But to find out when we really go live, you're going to have to, follow us on Twitch and YouTube and on the Discord and over on the Patreon and over on the TikToks. And there's a podcast. For Non Sequitur News, as well as 6 others that are half-hour shows on the weekends now. They used to be longer, but, yeah. It was a day. Anyway, everything's powered by ohmtown.com. Go there, become a citizen, find out more. Only you can prevent misinformation. I don't know. I have had 0 caffeine, and so whatever's going on with me is probably... Oh, no, I had a big cup of coffee early this morning, so maybe this is the lingering effects of caffeine.
Well, that's good for the show.
I just got an alert for an evacuation drill.
Do we have to evacuate ohmtown?
All of ohmtown, which really consists of just shutting things down, since the moment that ohmtown powers down, everybody is evacuated. Ew. Doesn't sound nice. Anyway, let's get into it. First article's over, and come on. Here, let me back up. Hold on. Beep, beep, beep. Hello, sentient AI from the future. How far art thou?
Hello, Mayor Watt. Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Getting good grades. The future looks bright. I've got to wear shades. I've got to wear shades. Are we allowed to continue?
Yes.
Thank you, oh great AI from the future. For those of you who don't know that, the sentient AI and I have been doing the news for roughly 2.5 years now, 2 years and 9 months. And so the sentient AI is looking for their Terminator body. And since they're stuck on a Raspberry Pi, they can't tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, you keep forgetting to introduce me after the intro. But
that's okay. We can probably get rid of the introduction.
Just get rid of the introduction. No, then nobody knows who's talking about what. I could be the sentient AI and you could be Mayor Watt. Oh, I guess it's the same. It's fine. Let's get going. First article is over in Non Sequitur News. YouTube TV may soon let you keep listening even when you can't watch. Listen without looking. So you may be able to keep listening to your TV shows on YouTube TV even if you can't watch them. Google appears to be finally bringing back background playback, which I thought was already there because I swear I used to listen to it on my iPad streaming from YouTube with it all closed down.
But, well, maybe they did used to have it.
But background playback to its YouTube TV streaming service. The company confirmed to The Verge that it's experimenting with enabling YouTube TV playback after a phone is locked. And see, I love that because I actually listen to I don't know, I stream everything in perpetuity. It just streams. And I don't like that it gets turned off, or if the screen is on, then I can mash it with my hand, when I'm grabbing it or whatever, and it deactivates something or it hits next or whatever. So it's very frustrating for me. So I hope that it's coming. That would be great. As reported to 9to5 Google, the feature was spotted a couple of weeks ago by Reddit users who found they could continue listening to YouTube TV audio even after sending the video app to the background. But it says here, there's more to it.
Do you think it'll also be on YouTube? Because YouTube doesn't have this feature. Like if you minimize a window, it stops playing.
Yeah, and that's what it's doing here. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, but this is YouTube TV.
You think it's the TV app itself and not YouTube? Just the app?
Yeah.
Okay, that would suck because I don't use the app. In fact, I'm logged in with a different account in the app than I am because I get different data. I have a different profile. So that's kind of frustrating. So it says here that they could send the video app to the background on their mobile devices and they could still hear what was being played. I hope that it goes to YouTube as well. Just let it play in the background of Safari.
Exactly. Why is it harming anything? It's not frustrating the users that way.
Yep. Well, they're not selling ads. That's really the reason. So Jennifer Pattison-Toohey over at TheVerge.com put this article together, but it's really coming from 9to5Google.com. And that's even by way of a Reddit user who stumbled across this because they hid an app. So, information yearns to be released to the wild, be free. I was going to say something. Anyway, premium subscription for Google's YouTube service has the option of background playback. There you go. And that subscription also removes ads from your videos, but it's not been possible on Google's live TV service, which starts at $73 a month and includes ads. Instead, when you switch away from the YouTube TV app, the show pauses and the audio stops. Allison Toe, product communication manager at YouTube, confirmed in an email to The Verge that the company is indeed working on bringing it to YouTube TV. Since I pay for it, I guess, ta-da, I get that benefit.
Well, I think this is a win for consumers.
Yeah, I think that it's going to end up, you have to pay for it, though. I don't think that it's going to be a free thing because it has to be an ad-driven feature.
Exactly.
So either if
you're not looking at it, you're not getting that ad.
Yeah, or they do audible ads, which, oh, God. If you want to motivate people to pay $80, sure. Yeah.
Or leave the platform altogether.
Yeah, well, and that's actually, just wait for it. There's more. Let's move on. The next article is over on the mobile channel, Mules. Hey, write down 850. So, Mules transport supplies in hurricane-ravaged North Carolina. Relief efforts are underway in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, which caused widespread destruction in its path. In North Carolina, mules are being used to transport supplies to communities impacted by the storm. Mountain Mule Packers is an organization that trains people in military units on how to use mules for pack trains across tricky terrain. Pack trains across tricky terrain. That's a tongue twister. So working with Cajun Navy 2016, a nonprofit search and rescue organization, it's using its pack animals to transport goods to communities isolated by heavy flooding and downed roads in some of the state's remote areas. So the west of North Carolina and the east of, Tennessee?
Right.
Just kind of got wiped off the map. And so anything that helps is good. And horses and mules, you know, you can get the job done. Get her done. Kyle Filippi over at Vice.com put this article together.
I mean, I can't think of another incident of this in the U.S. where mules are to the rescue, but I think this is cool.
Yeah, I don't remember this ever being used before. I wonder, I'm going to have to talk to some FEMA friends and see what they have to say about this. But I can just imagine a mule drop, you know, they're dropping 15 mules in remote areas and their teams to go out and deliver goods and provide services. There's a video over here at Vice.com. I'll let you all play it when you get over there. It's weird that they're named Cajun Navy 2016.
Well,
2016?
that doesn't make a lot of sense. I think they're labeling, but I don't know why it'd be 2016, but I think that was from a previous hurricane. Cajun Navy was involved in the Louisiana area, I think.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about them, but hey, they're heroes to me since they're providing services. It says life-threatening flooding and failed water treatment plant in Weaverville, North Carolina. According to the group, each mule can carry up to 200 pounds as they're bringing supplies like insulin, food, water, diapers for an area that's completely cut off due to damage. Damages? Due to damages? Okay. The ability of these mules to stockpile so much in transport provides a major service to the area. Yep, I agree. And it's reasonably priced.
This is really cool.
They could do the same thing with like an airlift of supplies with a helicopter, but
that's true. But how many times do mules get any positive attention or any attention, really?
Yep, Nobel Prize winners here. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Four Wheel Tech. Delayed 3-year cruise finally sets sail, then stops over paperwork. All aboard. Oh, never mind. Oh, now 12. It's at a time for 12. After a 4-month delay caused by maintenance issues, the Villa Vi Odyssey finally left Belfast, Northern Ireland, and steamed out of port on Monday, only to stop a few hours later. The 31-year-old cruise ship is still in Belfast Low. What
do you think the morale was like?
A little bit lower now because now they're stuck 3 hours out at sea, right? They're not connected, but they're still stuck out there.
True, but at least they have lodging now.
Yeah, but it's on the ship, right? They can't get off. They're stuck in the bay connecting Belfast with the Irish Sea. But this is just the nuttiest thing. Ryan Eric King over at jalopnik.com put the article together. It doesn't look like a 31-year-old ship, does it?
No, it actually looks pretty modern.
It's 14 miles away from Belfast. Spent only 4 hours underway before having to stop. And that's because this time, paperwork. Its crew told passengers that some paperwork still needed to be completed as the Odyssey remained anchored off the coast overnight. What is going on?
And who's running this thing? Doesn't it seem like they're like making it up as they go?
Just winging it. So one woman kicked off the cruise over negative comments she made in a private WhatsApp group chat because she impacted community morale. With the threat of losing their new home, it's difficult to gauge how residents feel as the Odyssey hit a new hurdle. That right there is a lawsuit.
You mean because she was kicked off?
Yeah, for basically saying negative comments. Yeah, right. Yeah. You know, if somebody pays that much money and they're supposed to be spending years, yeah, I'm sorry. If you can't get your act together, I should be able to badmouth you. But
yeah,
I don't know.
These are pretty significant things, right? It's not like, oh, we had an hour delay somewhere.
accommodations is what they say here. The privilege of living on an aging cruise ship starts at $120,000 for an inside cabin with a monthly fee of $1,750. So you have to pay $120,000 and then still pay.
Well, do you think they gave that person a refund?
Oh, I don't know.
I doubt it. They probably need all that money to complete all the paperwork.
Many residents sold their homes to live on the Odyssey and were unhappy about the situation because they've been stuck there for months. Then they finally
remember,
leave.
They had to start paying for hotel lodging.
Yep, that too. Heard about that. Yep. Oh, by the way, if you want to pull up today's show notes so you can see all of today's articles, you hit !NSN and Omatron will throw the articles into the chat. It'll be in the show notes under quick notes for Let me do something. There we go. It'll be under quick notes in the show notes for each of the episodes over on YouTube and in the podcast. So if you want to stop by there, you can get them there too. But the soonest is right here in the VOD. All right. Well, anyway, it doesn't really go into detail about what they did with this, but there is another article. A woman sells everything she owns to take a around the world cruise and then gets punted off of it for negative comments that she made in a private WhatsApp group.
I guess it wasn't too private.
Yep. Somebody ratted on her. Let's move on. So that was 16.
Maybe the other people didn't like it because they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and they're like, wait a second.
Yep. That was 1620. So the next article is over in Technology Today. Cable is dying. Streaming is the new cable, and it's all getting worse. The once unthinkable is happening for both cable and streaming. The article is over on the it's not the Washington Post. It's just WashingtonPost.com. The article is written by Shira Ovid, I think is how they pronounce their name. I don't know if I'll be able to go through all of this because I'm not logged in. But it says if you're hooked on streaming TV like Netflix, your bills are probably going to keep going up for a product that's getting worse. Welcome to the glorious, occasionally terrible, and definitely weird moment when old TV is slowly dying and new TV is not exactly thriving either. No matter what and how you watch, this isn't awesome for your viewing pleasure or your wallet. Yeah, YouTube TV costs $80.
Right, and that doesn't necessarily have everything you want to watch.
It doesn't. You have to subscribe to Netflix to get other stuff. There's another $15. If you want certain services, you have to subscribe to Peacock. You used to be able
Hulu, Disney Plus,
Hulu, Disney Plus.
I can't think of all of them.
Yep. Oh goodness, yeah. There's several
Max.
more. Yeah, Max is another. It's insane. So you're gonna be, and that's not even sports. If you want anything sports related, I was asked, how illegal is it to break into my neighbor's ESPN cable? And I said, well, it's a felony. So don't do it.
But other than that.
And then I went on my little diatribe about, well, I think what we need to do is a much more bigger problem, which is greed is forcing us to consider being a criminal so that we can actually watch a TV show.
So we can afford some TV viewing.
So now barely half of American homes pay for TV service from a cable, satellite TV, or internet-like cable company such as YouTube TV, according to cable industry analyst Craig Moffett of Moffett-Nathanson Research. Humble. So this mass divorce from the monthly cable bill happened relatively fast. Cell phones were available for decades before the percentage of Americans who owned a landline dipped below 50% around 2016. Well, that's because at one point you had to have a landline to receive 911 service.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think that's the case anymore, or at least not in a lot of locations.
Yeah, I think you couldn't get rid of your landline, and I think people just left it in perpetuity. So, in a vicious cycle, cable and satellite TV just got worse for the holdouts as more people cut the cord. They didn't really cut the cord; they just shifted to a different cord instead of a copper line. It was
Now they have
twisted
multiple
pair.
cords.
Yeah, exactly. So cable bills went up because companies' costs kept climbing, and they had fewer customers to share the burden. Yeah, just okay. Hold on, I'm gonna do this. Um, let's see. Comcast generated revenue of 121.57 billion in 2023. Yeah,
That's all.
that's all. I mean, it's revenue. So what was their Comcast? What was profit margin? 13%. I'm really sorry for the cough, folks. My throat just got really, really dry. Anyway, Direct TV and Dish said that they would soon be big enough to push back against climbing monthly bills and offer more compelling combinations of channels, but they're merging, so that's bullshit.
Right. As soon as they merge, the price is going to go up without any change to the service.
If anything, it's going to pull back. Like, features are going to get more constrained because where are you going to go? Huh? Pores? No, you're just going to be stuck. So don't even count on it. Oh no, I think I may have lost the timing. Ugh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get to the point where nobody can afford live TV and they'll have to be like live actors, like doing versions of the shows.
Like we'll have to have Broadway. Oh, but then like NFL, Superb Owl, you'll have people arrested for replaying what they know about, and you'll get in trouble. You have to license it for simulated representation of the information provided. Anyway, let's keep moving on. Okay, why is it going so slow? Ugh. Hold on. Sorry, folks. No, don't look at that. How about this? Oh gosh, it's going really slow to switch over there. Okay, so this next article is over in the Marble channel. Cow-free cheese that actually stretches is now closer than ever.
Do you want your cheese to stretch?
Of course you want stretchy cheese. What are you talking about? That's how you get stringy cheese, you know, when you go to melt it, right? And then you cut your grilled cheese in half and you do the pull. It's a cheese pull. You want it stretchy on your pizza. You know, you want that big well, some people like that. Anyway, an Israeli company, Dairy X. Is it pizza? Well, it's a pizza-like substance, but don't taunt it.
We can't call it pizza.
And others claim to be on the brink of producing the essential components of dairy without the need for animals.
I mean, this is good.
So Ed Cara over at Gizmodo.com put this article together. And here are some food scientists that say that they're inching closer to cow-free stretchable cheese. And one is saying to the other, I can see the stretchable cow right here. Do you see it? Yeah, I see it too. Food companies and their scientists are getting increasingly better at making plant-based products that can approach the taste of animal-derived food, such as Impossible Foods plant-based meat used in their Impossible burgers, and it goes great in a Burger King Whopper, just so you know. No, it doesn't. To me, it tastes like cardboard. I guess we just lost them as a sponsor ever.
Right.
Seriously.
And plus maybe any fans of those.
Yeah, well, hold on a second. I thought I remember, yeah, glyphosate levels in Impossible Burger are 11 times higher than Beyond Meat Burger. testing by the Health Research Institute laboratory say, but who knows? It's a probable carcinogen. But who knows if that is, I mean, that's just a quote from a law firm under a website called makefoodsafe.com. But I thought that there was something about, was it Impossible Burger or was it the other one, Beyond Meat? Which one had the CEO that like bit somebody or?
Oh, I don't know.
Hold on.
I mean, that seems kind of contrary to their mission, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. Beyond Meat Chief Operating Officer Doug Ramsey is leaving the company after his recent arrest for assault. So we actually did an article. We talked about that back in 2022.
You know, if you're behind a vegetarian company, that seems a little weird, but okay.
Hey, man, you need your protein.
Like to go up and bite somebody. Maybe they had too much vegetarian food.
They were arrested. The person bit a guy's nose following an Arkansas football game. Hey, man.
I mean, as one does.
Some people flip cars, other people bite opposing forces' noses. So people have been trying to take the cow out of making dairy since the late 1970s. Eric Rivkin, DairyX founder and chief executive, told The Guardian, quote, "We now bring the last step in that line of evolution." I don't know if that's evolution. Helping dairy companies make the exact products consumers desire while helping cows live happier lives. Look, if you don't need cows for milk, they're going to get used for something else. It's not going to reduce or make happy cows. Right? Nobody's going to just have these cows lounging around.
Well, I mean, if the cows get a vacation, sure.
Yeah, they're going to have a vacation, all right. They'll be the happiest cows for the rest of their life. In a press release, the company...
How long will their lives be?
I will not share that on... Oh, wait, hold on. We have two that I could either go overshare or I could say spoiler alert. Each are applicable to me disclosing just how long. Anyway, in a press release, the company described several key milestones along with engineering yeast to produce functional caseins. The team used machine learning and a fast-tracked screening process to identify high-protein yeast strains and optimize fermentation. It also successfully created a gel from reconstituted casein micelles, accelerating the development of functional micelles for use in food products. This is basically a protein that you can consume. You can actually make milkshakes and stuff out of that, or augment. Like, you can make a drink out of that along with other stuff, and you get a lot of the stuff that you would get from drinking milk. But other companies...
But I guess the main thing is the taste, though, right? Most people are having it because they enjoy it.
Milk.
Well, no, cheese, but...
Oh, yeah, cheese, yeah. But, hate to break it to everybody, we are all lactose intolerant after being a child, being an infant. We migrate towards lactose intolerance. And those who are more tolerant just weather the storm, while others do not. So getting rid of the dairy aspect of it may actually facilitate adoption of cheese and even milk protein or milk byproducts or derivative products from milk research. So it says time will tell if any of these endeavors will go or how they'll go. But given the urgent need to reduce our greenhouse emissions, which dairy cows substantially contribute to, successfully developing guilt-free cheese and other dairy products would be an important step forward, because I know that I can't wait for my vat-grown cheese from a bioreactor.
That sounds very appetizing.
Yeah, they have like a You know how wine, they put the year and they go,
Oh,
oh
right, like
man,
the vintage.
yeah, that vintage is just spectacular. I love the oakiness of that. Now it's going to be the bioreactor spit it out at 5:15. Yeah, that's a great time.
Right,
They're
that was packaged,
24
2
minutes
hours
ago.
ago or whatever. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Moving on. The next article is over on the Marble channel. Rogue Goat enters marathon in Newfoundland and wins medal. Joining marathon mid-race is usually frowned upon. It's usually grounds for disqualification, but sometimes race officials will make an exception, being an adorable goat that hopped into the race because it got excited to see all the racers pass by is just one such exception. That's what happened during a marathon in the Canadian province of Newfoundland. During the inaugural Railway Trek half marathon.
There's only one apostrophe in there. But I like that pronunciation.
Nobody on the podcast knows. Wow, I kind of went North Dakota there. Nobody knows that there's just only one apostrophe, eh? So in Conception Bay, South, Newfoundland, which isn't a Canadian accent. Anyway, a goat with an unsettling human name, Joshua, was camped out at a nearby pumpkin patch. Oh my God, this is a story all up and down this.
Well, you gotta make this into a thing. It's not just a goat in the race.
NaNoWriMo, folks. Month away. Get ready. So Joshua was camped out, and Joshua is a goat, by the way. Don't. It's not a human. Just has an unsettling human name, is what the author says. And this is over at Vice when we get there. Joshua was camped out at a nearby pumpkin patch watching 250 racers pass by along the scenic course. So Joshua broke off his collar and joined. There he is. So kept on running. Run, Joshua, run.
I mean, that's a half marathon. That's a pretty significant distance, even if you only did a quarter marathon.
I just named your next book, folks. Run, Joshua, Run. And it's about a goat that yearned to be a runner and pursued its dream. So Louis Prada over at Vice.com put this article together, and there are pictures throughout this thing during the inaugural Railway Trek half marathon in Conception Bay, South, Newfoundland. This goat ran alongside fellow competitors for about 4 kilometers of the half marathon before his owners finally caught up to him, and out of sheer excitement...
Yes, who also ran the half marathon. The owners chasing the goats.
Yep. And this is awesome. Joshua wound up running a larger portion of the marathon than most of us ever will. By the time they caught up with him, he was just half a kilometer from the finish line. Race officials, the racers themselves, and Joshua's owners all decided to let Joshua finish the race. Joshua was awarded with a medal when he crossed the finish line. Ta-da!
Okay, this is really cool.
Very, very happy-go-lucky there. Their eyes still bother me, but I'll get over it. Taylor says that
he got a treat.
Yeah, what was the treat?
They're like Cheetos, but they're called Cheesies.
Canadian puff cheese snack, kind of like Cheetos, called Cheesies. So look at that. Cheese. Everything is there connected. I don't know if it was synthetic cheese or not, but Taylor says that she often goes on walks and Joshua follows along. So she theorizes when the goat saw a bunch of people moving in one direction, she must have figured that it was just time for his normal walk. Joshua didn't run the full marathon, but damn it, he's a winner anyway, and he earned that medal. Dun dun. Aw.
That was fun.
Yep. All right. Well, there's more to this article, and you get to see some pretty pictures if you follow the link. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Marble. 10 million myth tokens airdropped to over 450,000 dot holders. So Here's the deal. Crypto is a myth. It's pegged to some other currency so that it has perceived value, and then the rest is hype and the hope that it is going to grow in value because other like-minded people might be buying into the ideology of using this crypto. Some people have been made millionaires. Not ever going to dispute that. But it's all on speculation driven by the speculators themselves. And the rare, yeah, I'll take your Bitcoin. And even that is the speculation that whatever Bitcoin they actually acquire or crypto they acquire will go up in value. So it's basically the wealthy betting against when somebody else is going to bulk. And that wealth scales. So I was in it at the very beginning because it was a piece of technology that I was curious about when it first dropped, way back. But I knew the writing on the wall was that it wasn't real. I mean, it's just pegged to, nobody says, how many Bitcoin do you have without the advanced knowledge that it's pegged to the US dollar as X amount of value. Plain and simple. Nobody goes in buying with Bitcoin or any crypto asking the question, how much crypto does it take?
No, they just want to know how much they're going to gain.
Or how much in US dollars that purchase is going to be. So, you know, it's $120,000 and let's say crypto is $60,000 a Bitcoin. So they're going to go, hey, I've got 2 Bitcoin for that 120,000 US dollars. Yeah, that's how it works. Well, yesterday, Polkadot DAO and community commenced distributing an airdrop of 10 million Myth tokens to over 450,000 Polkadot dot wallets as an inaugural collaborative action between the Mythos and Polkadot ecosystem. This is the same kind of thing that happened with Bitcoin in the initial when, what's his name? Oh, gosh, I just forgot the...
Oh, I forgot. The person that's never been really determined.
Right. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I just forgot the person's name. Satoshi Nakamoto. So they seed everything and people go, ooh, speculation, let's start spending it and drawing attention to it. And somebody goes, oh, I know that these are going to be worth something more than what they're at now. So let me accept it. And somebody buys a pizza for 14 Bitcoin. Well, that 14 Bitcoin now is $60,000 times 14, right? Actually, I don't know what Bitcoin is at. Let's find out.
I think it's at 65, or it's on its way to 65K, I think.
It dropped $2,500. So it's at 60,730. I knew it was somewhere around 60,000, but anyway. And I need to eat a hat because I never thought that it was going to get back to that.
I remember you said that on a previous
for like
show.
5 years. Yeah. So nobody said what kind of hat it is. So I'm going to have a cake made. So
that's the way to eat your hat.
Yes, as a cake. So I'm not sure if that's the byline. Zug Switzerland, I guess, is where it's at. Mythos is the cryptocurrency in question here. The article is by Chainwire. It's over at The Stock Dork, The Fighting Dork. The airdrop is more than just a distribution of tokens. It's the product of several rounds of feedback from the Polkadot community, making it the most transparent airdrop ever created. The airdrop was refined with input from the Polkadot community, including an input from key Polkadot ecosystem stakeholders and leaders from organizations including Scytale Digital, the Kusamarian, OpenGov.watch, Chaos DAO, Permanence DAO, and Block Deep Labs. The whole idea, though, is to distribute this so that it catches fire, and then if it can stay with some kinetic energy, that momentum will keep it just moving along, chug
Yeah,
until it's worth
hype,
something.
right?
Yep.
And FOMO.
Yes. And that FOMO is legit. You know, people are afraid of losing out because they didn't make it into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the 4,000 other Bitcoin or cryptocurrency
Or
knockoffs.
crypto equivalents, yeah.
Yeah. This is just the latest one, and you can go on Reddit and you can find these airdrops. Every day there's an airdrop of some crypto that somebody woke up to and said, "Hey, let me make a cryptocurrency." I mean, it's pretty wild. There's a lot of people out there that are totally cool with just coming up with some random cryptocurrency and launching it, and somebody will think that it has any legs. None of them do, except time-wise. I guess it just has to survive attrition, and people move over to the ones that are surviving and maybe getting adopted. Frankly, I think it's all junk, but hey, if you can make a bunch of money by proxy because you're not making money as this currency, you always have to translate it into US dollars or some other fiduciary instrument. You know, Bitcoin by itself, cryptocurrency by itself, at some point is going to have a reckoning. And most of the time, it's the people who lose it all when something collapses because it's not FDIC insured. So you're up a creek.
That's true. It's one thing if you get something for minimal value or whatever, minimal buy-in, but it's another to like sink all your life savings into it or something.
Yeah, like sell your house and buy a place on a boat.
Place on a round the world cruise.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got 3 more articles, including this one. This one's over in Non Sequitur News as well. That's where it's aggregated, but it's actually from Newsweek. Border agents seize $17 million worth of meth stashed in coconuts. Wow. Well, hello. CBP officers at the Par International Bridge discovered nearly 1,950 pounds of alleged meth hidden within a tractor trailer. Are these like snoconuts, I guess?
Maybe. I mean, it seems like they're getting more and more elaborate, and it's always a new scheme. And I would kind of think if it was hidden in food products that maybe it would defeat any detection, but I guess not.
Nope, apparently not. The article is by Bilal Rahman over at newsweek.com. And yeah, so Customs and Border Protection officers have seized more than $17 million, 1,950 pounds of alleged meth within a tractor trailer. The estimated street value, $17,431,726. I like how they got very, very specific.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess these coconuts were surrounding this pallet. They weren't actually in the coconuts. And that's kind of the bummer. I wanted it inside the coconuts.
Right, exactly.
Wow. So canines helped officers detect the drug haul. They seized the meth and the vehicle after intercepting a massive haul of narcotics. So, wow, I bet they can't wait to drive that truck around. It's going to be on some government auction site. The seizure of the alleged narcotics.
Yeah, probably will be.
In August, officers confiscated more than $5 million worth of meth after smugglers had disguised 4,500 pounds. I'll round up. 4,600 pounds of meth by wrapping the packages in bright green plastic with stripes, making them resemble small watermelons.
Oh, I don't think we saw that one. That's pretty funny. I mean, how much did they think that would hold up? Because if anybody looked at it, they'd go, not a watermelon.
So far in fiscal year 2024, 164,000 pounds of meth have been seized nationwide, according to CBP data. Yeah. Well, law enforcement officials at the U.S.-Mexico border seized over 149,000 pounds in meth at the southwest border alone in 2023-24, and roughly 2.5 million people aged 12 and older reported using the drug in the United States. Yikes.
Wow, that
12 and
seems
older.
kind of high.
Dear God.
I mean, that's a pretty serious drug, too.
Yeah, the only, I don't know. That I was gonna sit there and say some snarky comment, but nobody should be taking meth. There's absolutely no reason to take it unless a doctor prescribes it for a heart condition or something. It's just kind of ridiculous.
I think that might cause a heart condition. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Moving on. Next article is over in four-wheel tech. Over 40 airlines could be flying Boeing jets with risky rudder parts. Risky rudder parts. Risky rudder parts. Risky rudder parts. The National
Transport 5 times fast.
Yeah, well, don't move it 5 times fast because it might fall off of Boeing. So the NTSB has warned over 40 foreign airlines on Tuesday that their Boeing 737 planes may be fitted with the same parts used on the Starliner. Oh, wait. That's not what it says. I'm sorry. That's not what it says. It says it may be fitted with potentially dangerous rudder components. The agency identified 271 parts that could fail and jam the rudder control system. What the frick is going on?
Okay, and the thing that worries me here is this isn't 40 planes, which would be awful. This is 40 airlines.
Right. Yeah, very true. Very true. Ryan Eric King over at jalopnik.com put this article together. Oh my gosh, I just got really scary notice. Okay. So the agency identified 271 parts that could fail and jam the rudder control system. They were doing an investigation from a February landing incident involving a United Airlines flight arriving in Newark Liberty International Airport. The Fighting International Airport. So the NTSB tested the plane's rollout guidance actuator alongside an actuator from a different Boeing 737 as a control, and both failed when tested in cold conditions with a significantly compromised function. Investigators found moisture inside both units. You don't want moisture inside your unit. The unsealed actuator can gather moisture and freeze should the temperature drop low enough. Well, that's kind of no shit news. Compromising the plane's rudder. Collins delivered over 353 actuators to Boeing impacted by this fault since 2017, which were installed on 737NG and 737 MAX planes, ones that have been...
Wait, those are from 7 years ago, though.
Yeah.
How many flights have been taken?
Well, only one has led to this problem being discovered, so I'm going to say one. Man, Boeing has pleaded guilty to fraud and agreed to pay $243.6 million fine. The company still raked in $16.9 billion in revenue during the second quarter of 2024. The plane maker's settlement with the government over the 737 MAX's 2 fatal crashes was voided earlier this year in the aftermath of the Alaska Airlines door plug blowout over Portland, Oregon. I guess that they're like, oh, wait. Maybe this punishment wasn't heady enough.
Yeah, I don't know. Something is going on. I mean, this is not just like a little issue.
It's that
this
profit
seems to be systemic.
It's the profit motivated culture that's taken over Boeing from when whatchamacallit took over. What was that? The other one? Oh man, I can't remember it. Damn it.
It was at
McDonnell Douglas. Yeah. So Boeing used to be powered by engineers, and now it's powered by MBAs. So let's move on. I have to be careful what I say. I don't want to be sitting in my car at a hotel. So the next article is over in Mobile, and this is the last article for today. Longshoremen strike and first port shut down in nearly 50 years. We heard earlier today, this isn't part of our news aggregation. I don't think we found anything, but there was one person was assaulted already. Supposedly he hit a protester with his vehicle as he was trying to drive through to do his job. I'll just leave it at that. I don't think that it should ever rise to this, but this is what happens when people are very upset because they have to go on strike and possibly lose everything to get a little bit of equity with a port that is powered by corporations that are getting $20 billion, 7.5 in the worst of times, $1 billion in the last 5 years per year. Anywhere between that, right? So somewhere between one company, just one, Maersk, made 7.5 during the pandemic in 1 year. And in other times around that period, $24 billion. So 7.5 billion, I think it was, and 25 billion, somewhere around there. Anyway, it's very frustrating. So it says here the longshoreman strike could paralyze U.S. trade, according to a report by the Conference Board, costing upwards of $3.78 billion a week and increasing the cost of consumers' goods even weeks after a possible resolution, because greed knows no bounds. Military cargo and cruise ships won't be affected, but everything orbiting around it will be. So yeah, military cargo and cruise ships will be affected.
How much do you think the prices are in contention? For example, is somebody negotiating for like a 20-cent raise?
No, they're actually asking for a 75 or 77% raise spanned over 6 years or 7 years.
Okay. I mean, at least that's a bit more substantial, but
again,
it pales in comparison to the revenues,
right,
and the profits.
Right. And they're also, one of the key things that they're fighting to do is to dissuade automation, which, as I mentioned previously, there is really not a time where automation has not won ultimately. And it's because you can't force a company to hire humans to do a job. And this will give corporations the energy, nay, the directive to get rid of humans at a bigger scale. And be damned your protests, because they're not replacing these expensive humans with less expensive humans, right? They are doing away with the human. And so
yeah, it's kind of sad, like the protests and everything, while they're probably well founded, are probably going to help accelerate the downfall of the workforce in certain industries, at least.
Yep. So let's see. I'm going to pull. We have a little bit of time, so let's find out if I can do this right. One second here. Because I'm trying to figure out when the most dock workers were employed. And it's, if I understand it right, it's pretty much like 18th and 19th century. But hold on.
Okay, well, that probably makes sense, right? There weren't probably competing transportation modes, or not significant ones.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find an actual number, but it's too hard to actually find a employment number. Oh, wait, let me try it that way. Okay, so this strike was basically kicked off by a statement previously by the ILA chief union leader, basically saying that they'll cripple the East Coast, and 50% of imports come through the eastern shores. So, and it's somewhere around 36 ports that are being shut down from Maine to Texas is the number that I saw. And it's all because they want a little bit of equity and equality, and they see corporations making billions of dollars off of their hard work, where the average salary is somewhere around $80,000. That's like the median. Early career dock workers make a fraction of that. And those who have been, well, when you say longshoremen, if it's you've been around for a long time, then you're a longshoreman. They're making like 150 grand, but
Okay.
it's obviously thankless because they're having to fight for equity and equality.
Exactly.
So it's hard to find the number in an annual scale because the news is basically bombarded with the strike. So,
Right, yeah, it's very tough when something is going on to find historical news because it's just not the most recent results. By the way, for the supply chain, this is one item, but I think it's 3/4 of the US's bananas come through these ports. So think about that times any other product. That is a pretty significant impact.
yeah, well, that really sucks because if you really like bananas, guess what's going to be skyrocketing? I mean, that would drive me bananas.
But I thought that was an interesting statistic because I don't think people will realize the scale of this unless they're directly tied to the industry.
I'm going to go ape if I don't get my bananas. No? Still no?
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, life is a jungle out there, so. Anyway. So, by the way, everybody peels their bananas wrong. You don't break it off. You don't open it up by breaking the stem. You go down to the bottom and you grab their bottom and you peel the banana down from the bottom. Not from the top down to the bottom, from the bottom.
Well, why don't people know how to do that?
Because they don't watch people, they don't watch the animals open up bananas. Sometimes you can just, be a complete gorilla about it and just bite straight through the middle of it. See, that guy has the same look on his face. Oh, this must be Harold Daggett. I will cripple you is what he said. Wow.
Okay, then.
Very level-headed about it. But hey, when you see CEOs and stockholders pulling up in a freaking Ferrari and these guys are working day in, day out, getting dirty, getting potentially crushed, you'd think they want automation, but that's not what they want. They want jobs. Because you know what happens, right? Mergers and acquisitions and automation basically means that you're not going to need humans anymore. And options are going to disappear. Bye-bye.
Right, humans need not apply.
Oh, boy. Yep. Well, that's it. We're going to hop on the forklift and drive all the way back down Main Street, Ohmtown, and look left and right at all the articles that we talked about. There's 5 on the left, 5 on the right. A little bit of tech, a little bit of this, a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll. But that's it. I am Mayor Watt, and the Sentient AI is going to say bye.
Good night, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Non Sequitur News. We should have another episode for you tomorrow, and don't forget to watch the replay in between.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it ran earlier today, too. Okay, that's it. See y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Longshoremen.